Oh, what's good, everybody? Apologize for the slight delay. I had to handle a little business on my end with some of my crew that are feeling a little bit too big for their britches tonight. But damn it, we're about to have a fun 45 minutes or an hour. Welcome in to Early Edge Live. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine. We have the best crew in sports betting, and it's not even close. Tonight, Week 12 ends in the National Football League. Seattle travels all the way across the country to the Washington football team. We've got sides. We've got totals. We've got props coming out of your ears. We've got a donkey parlay. We've got first touchdown of the game picks. But I don't do this by myself. No. I mentioned my crew. I mentioned my team. Let's bring them in right now because on Monday nights, we bring in all the heavy hitters. And right below me, the best-looking man in all of sports betting. And Jay Smooth, it's not close. Sia, welcome back to the show, sir.
Oh, wow. I didn't know you. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. By the way, I don't know if you noticed Santana Moss over my right shoulder there. He's throwing up the 21 for Sean Taylor, the late great. 14-year anniversary of his death was last Saturday. I'm really excited to have a primetime game as a Washington football fan and have that game be actually relevant as it pertains to the playoff hunt. So this is actually a big night for me.
There is no question it is. I'm excited to have you on as a Washington fan, to have that perspective, and also to have somebody who's an actual professional, somebody who comes onto the show and knows they have a job to do, and they do it. Unlike the next man. From 8 floors down, live from Nashville, Tennessee, we call him Dial-Up. You can call him AB. Whatever, just call him for breakfast. AB, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you so much, Coach. I like Scott Beaumont in the chat that said AB must be getting in trouble during pre-show chat. So, yeah, it lines up with exactly what you were saying.
That's exactly what was happening. Sometimes I can't be everybody's friend. Like I tell my kids, I can't be everybody's friend when you have to run the show. Now, live from the penthouse of the same building, we call him M Squared. He's one of our goats. He's an OG. M Squared, hello.
Hello. What's up, guys? Good to see you all. Very excited for this game tonight. I'm glad we got Sia on, as I know he is a massive Washington football team fan, as he just mentioned. I know we've got some Seahawk love in the SportsLine family as well. It's going to be a really fun game tonight.
All right, we've got a lot to get to. We're going to talk about some storylines that came out of the NFL as well before we get to the picks in about 10 minutes or so. But the last man that I need to introduce, and last night, one host, and he shall remain nameless, as we were talking about getting into the club, laid out a scenario that I said I would be dying laughing if it happened. And what it was simply this. The first touchdown of the game, get down to the 1. Latavius Murray goes over from the 1. He cashes the ticket. I no longer stand outside with him. But Alex, prop stars, alas, everything happened except the touchdown. Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm okay, Coach. Sia, AB, Mikey, great to see you guys as well. I honestly woke up this morning thinking that was a nightmare. When I realized, when I got my, when I dusted off the cobwebs and realized that was actually real life last night, I was pretty miserable. And yeah, I'm having flashbacks of the corpse of Latavius Murray just getting stood up at the 1 yard.
I swear to God, my beautiful better half, you guys all know her, Crystal. I was in this room literally just as loud as I could be, just screaming. She comes running in. What happened? I said, you wouldn't understand. But damn it, it's funny. And I just kept howling. It was so great. But alas, all that happened was you and I are still standing outside with AB going, how do we get in? But tonight could be our night. So let's jump right into it. Damn it, that was fun, though, wasn't it? That was a lot of fun. All right, let's get into some storylines today that absolutely could affect the betting lines down the road. And, Mikey, I'm going to come to you and start with you. Christian McCaffrey. He just seems to be one of those players that's always going to be snake-bitten, as great as he is, out for the season again, hurting his ankle on Sunday. And now all that hype, Panthers, Cam Newton, seems to be over today.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be over. They did spend a lot of money to bring Cam in there. Everything looked like, they're on the fringe. They would have had to run the table basically to have any sort of promising season still. But yeah, he's brutal injuries in his career. Always seems to be one of those players, a lot like Saquon Barkley, just elite talent always hurts. It definitely impacts the betting line going forward. We're going to see impacts the player prop market as well quite a bit, as we're going to see a split in the backfield for the most part. But Chuba Hubbard back to fantasy and prop relevance.
Yeah. So to talk about those props for a second, let me come to you, Alex, because that is when we talk about specific players. Christian McCaffrey was kind of like America's team. He was a player that everybody loved to bet no matter what his numbers were. How do you think this and also the quarterback situation could affect the prop market for the Panthers?
Yeah, just a massive blow to the Panthers. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey is just an incredible talent. Everybody loves the guy. One of the most versatile players we've ever seen. Ability to catch the ball, run the ball out of the backfield. I remember hearing this when he was getting drafted, that a guy with a 5'11", 200-pound frame likely couldn't hold up to the amount of carries and touches that the typical NFL running back does. He kind of brushed that aside for the first couple seasons, and then you've absolutely seen it taken a massive toll on him. This is, I believe, the third season in a row he's been unable to complete the season. So yeah, this is just a huge blow. He's also the highest paid running back in the NFL. So yeah, going forward, I don't know how you can continue to give him the workloads that he's been receiving, but yeah, this has a drastic effect. The Panthers are in a sorry state right now, though. Cam Newton, PJ Walker, Chuba Hubbard. It's not looking good in Carolina.
Yeah, and this is even more reason why running backs don't get contracts past the age of 30, because they just don't produce and they get hurt and you can't commit that kind of money. Let me come to you, Sia, because now down in New Orleans, we talked about this a lot last week, that Taysom Hill gets a new contract, 4 years, $47 million. But if he becomes the starter, now all these triggers start coming into play. Could be potentially up close to $100 million. Word out of the NFL Network is reporting in Rappaport that Taysom Hill will get the start if he can practice all week. How should that affect the betting market?
It's a good question. I mean, it certainly makes New Orleans a lot more dynamic with both a run and pass option. Listen, Trevor Siemian, I think we can all admit he's been better than we maybe would have thought. So that's great. And he probably has a better arm overall than in terms of accuracy, finding the open window than Taysom Hill. But I think just the way the Saints season is going and the way Taysom Hill gives you two different options with the run game and the pass game, the move makes sense. I'm a little surprised it didn't happen earlier, but I definitely we'll see if he plays Thursday night against Dallas. I definitely think it's going to affect the line. And I honestly will be more, as a bettor myself, I will be more inclined to take the Saints with Taysom Hill at the helm than Trevor Siemian. And that's no disrespect to Trevor Siemian.
Why?
Because of the dual threat that Taysom Hill offers. Okay. That's pure and simple. A dual threat quarterback is so much more dangerous, and it's so much harder to scheme for from a defensive coordinator. Listen, it's not easy to scheme for any quarterback, but one that is not a running threat is a lot easier for a defensive coordinator to handle.
All right. It's funny you should mention defensive coordinator, because on the other side of the fence, AB, we have the Cowboys. They have an issue now. They get beat by the Raiders last week. We don't know which team is which, and now their head coach, Mike McCarthy, he's out on the COVID list now, will not coach this Thursday. Dan Quinn, the defensive coordinator, will move out of the booth and come down on the field, and he will be the head coach for this week. How does that affect the Cowboys side?
So first off, it's interesting. I think that you saying Dan Quinn coming from the booth down to the field, that actually is kind of a big deal in terms of how this defense, not that how it's going to be called, but just the communication, because everyone is used to, speaking over, the headsets, and then you're going to have Dan Quinn literally right there. Number two, I kind of understand this Dan Quinn having his history with the Atlanta Falcons, having played the Saints twice a year, so many years. He does understand this team a little bit, but I don't think that it's going to be that big of a deal. I'll tell you what, Cowboys fans will tell you this. The most interesting part might be how they manage the clock, how they manage timeouts, and how they manage fourth downs with Mike McCarthy being out, because he's so conservative in regards to it.
It drives me insane when I watch how he coaches everything. And then he'll look up at the screen and be, that wasn't the guy. Wasn't that? Coach the damn team. Damn, coach the damn team. Now, I thought it'd be something fun before we get into our picks in about 5 minutes, because I was looking at the playoff race today. And Mikey, let me come back to you, because I want you to tell me. I'm going to tell you the 6 teams on both sides, and you guys are going to tell me one team that's the best, because I'm looking at this going, I don't know who the best team is right now. When you look at what the playoffs would look like today, Ravens would be the number seed. Remember, there's only one seed or one team that gets a bye now, with 7 teams making it. 8-3, then Patriots are the number 2 seed. The Titans, remarkably, still the 3 seed. Chiefs, the 4 seed. Bengals would be the 5. Bills 7-4, the 6, and the Chargers. You got some teams at 6-5, 6-6. Mikey, of these 6 teams right now, in your opinion, who's the best team?
Honestly, I think it's the Kansas City Chiefs if their defense plays the way that they have.
Really?
And you can call that a homer pick if you want to, but the offense, they just have so many weapons. I would say it's between them and Baltimore, frankly, just because you watched it last night, the ridiculous plays that Lamar made. They overcame such a ridiculous turnover margin, and they were still able to win that football game. When they've got healthy weapons, like, it's really difficult to stop Patrick Mahomes. It's really difficult to stop Lamar Jackson. They're 2 teams that have been in these spots that know how to win these games. So, I think the Titans are pretty much out here. They've got the 3 most important players on the offense on the injured reserve. Don't really give them much shot at all in these spots. So, getting a home game, Kansas City against the Cincinnati Bengals, it's a team that they could take care of, but as long as they get to play at home, I like that a lot. You put that Ravens team at home, I like that a lot. I think that it's pretty clear those 2 teams in the AFC for me.
That's a great point. See ya, AB. I'm going to come to you for the NFC, but Alex, I want to stick with you for the AFC. In your opinion, who's the best team right now? And I guess you got to factor in that betting aspect to it as well. Who do you like?
I'd actually favor Buffalo personally. I've been really impressed with Buffalo's defense. They've shown up pretty much every week. The offense has been a little bit inconsistent. Obviously, Josh Allen is somewhat of an erratic quarterback. But yeah, their defense, they rank first in total DVOA, first in passing DVOA. They're also a top 10 rushing DVOA team. I think this defense is absolutely legit. They have a ton of weapons on offense. I think it'll come down to how consistent Josh Allen will be. But yeah, I'm confident that he's, experienced enough hardships and kind of ups and downs where I can expect him to be consistent in December, in January, hopefully. So yeah, I like Buffalo.
Okay, real quick on the other side, see who's the best team in the NFC, and then we'll get into our game tonight quickly with you and AB. I'm really interested in your take on the NFC side.
Yeah, I think I hate to say this. I think it's the top 2 teams. I think it's Arizona and Green Bay, but I'm going to give the nod to Green Bay. I just love how they operate both on offense and defense. They've been doing so well on defense without their best defensive back at that. I think when this team is healthy, and they are among the healthier teams in the NFC, they've got a couple, big misses right now, but I think this is the best team in the NFL.
All right. AB?
Yeah, it's hard to go against that. I would put Green Bay 1, Arizona 2. You look at what Green Bay does. If Aaron Rodgers is on the field, good luck. Good luck. They're 10-2 against the spread. And think of all the craziness they've gone through this year. Matt LaFleur, probably going to be your coach of the year. Arizona, a phenomenal team, but their injuries are lining up. So, yeah, give me Green Bay 1, Arizona 2.
Quickly, if I'm one of the top 6 teams in the NFC, I feel really good about my chances. Here are the teams chasing them. Vikings, 5-6. Falcons, Saints, Eagles, Panthers. Those are the next 5 teams in the standing. I feel pretty good if I'm an NFC team wanting to make it into the playoffs.
Coach,
yep.
you left one team out that's chasing.
Oh, who?
Well, they play tonight on Monday Night Football.
Washington. My bad. You're right. They are very much alive in this race for the NFC East. Nobody else wants to win this week. Cowboys lose. Eagles lose. Giants. They beat the Eagles, but the Giants stink. So it's like they lost. All right, let's get into our picks for tonight. The number we are going with, by the way, I need you to pound that like button. I waited just to see if you guys would do it on your own. I've got to lead you. So 400 likes, we'll give away that pint glass that we love drinking out of, that Alex loves to drink out of. 600 likes, give away that hoodie. That a very nice thank you note today, and 1,000 likes, that Coach action figure that is still sitting in Alex's living room, going nowhere unless we get to 1,000. And by the way, we're going to give away a membership. If anybody in the chat, and leave your Twitter handle, can tell me what this hat is of and where I purchase it at. What is this hat of? Where did I get it? Put it into the chat. We'll give away a year-long membership if you can predict it's right. And if you already have one, you can tell us who you'd like to give it to. All right? So that's a little accident bonus. Where's the hat from? Where did I purchase it at? All right, here we go. And see, since this is your team, this is your squad. These are our best bets. Are you one of those guys that since it's your team, you have no bets in the game tonight, or do you have some?
No, I have some. I don't want to take the Washington side of it because there might be some bias at play, and I think there's some pretty good sharp money that's coming in on Seattle. So I'm just going to stay away from that one. I do like the under, however, of 47. It's varying. I saw it at 47.5 this morning. It's at 47 in some places. It's gone down to 46.5. But I just think the way these teams play, the pace of play, I think it all kind of, and the fact that I know a lot of times they settle for field goals in the red zone. I think it caters to an under in this one.
Okay. Under 47.5 around that number. What would you play it down to, depending on the book?
Yeah, I would play it down to 47. 46.5, I'm getting a little skittish there. So hopefully you get it at 47. I think it might be a stay away at 46.5.
Okay. Very good. Love the analysis. Now, I know there's one face on this board that has a pick tonight because he is staring down the almighty maestro and not even blinking an eye. AB, what do you got?
Oh, yeah, Coach. We've got multiple plays. The most important, like you just said, we go in with the Seahawks. We got them at a pick this morning. Look, I know that everyone's looking at Seattle and Russell Wilson, that it's been terrible ever since he came back from his injury. Let's take a step back and take a look. All right, he played his first game back against Green Bay on the road in the snow, okay? His second game, they played against the Arizona Cardinals. They lost 23-13, right? So they progressed a little bit in terms of scoring in that game. What you're going to see tonight, and this is why our next two plays, we're going to go with Russell Wilson, longest completion over 35.5 yards, because since Russell Wilson came back, he's averaging 2.2 yards more per attempt. I think that what you're going to see is Seattle and Russell Wilson go for a big shot early and try to get up on Washington and put the force on them in terms of having to, play a dictated game. Also, we're going to go with Russell Wilson over 15.5 rushing yards because you look at Washington's defense, they are 7th worst in the NFL in terms of giving up completions, but they are 5th worst in the NFL at getting pressure on quarterbacks. Russell Wilson is going to have time in the pocket tonight. So not only hitting deep, but he's going to cut outside as well to bring that secondary up. He's going to be playing games with them all night. Yeah, give me those three.
My man Milton in the chat says, I'm riding with AB tonight. Russ gonna cook. Milton. And I just realized, as I was sitting here pumping you up before the show, really getting you fired up to go against the Maestro, I realized I'm not on your side of the game tonight. Not even close. So, boys, you know what that means. What is the worst thing you can do when you lose 2 showdown bets on a Sunday? Now, you don't want to chase, do you? You don't want to go after it again. Mikey, what should I do?
I don't know what you should do on this one, honestly. I haven't even told you which side I'm on yet.
Okay, you know what? That's a very, very good point. Let me come to Mikey, see what Mikey has. AB, you keep that cheesy smile on your face. I'll come back to you in a second. Mikey, what do you got tonight?
Yeah, I like Seattle. I haven't played it. I lean that way, but I do like Seattle in this game. For a lot of the reasons be mentioned, I think this is a great spot for Russell Wilson. I actually make the Washington football team the worst defense in the NFL at this point in the season, the absolute worst defense in the NFL. Hard to believe, I know, because they just beat Tampa Bay, but statistically speaking and in terms of efficiency, not good. So I do like Seattle, and unfortunately I'm on the opposite of Sia, so I'm wondering if we're going to have a showdown. My only official play on the game is the over 46.5, which is where it's at right now. That's my favorite play on this game. So I love DK Metcalf. I love Tyler Lockett. And on the other side, I love Terry McLaurin. These defenses are not great. The pace of play is obviously the only concern. However, I think Russ is going to have enough time to throw the football here. And the big playability, we saw it last week against Carolina, frankly, a better defense. Terry McLaurin gets loose, and they're healthy. They've got weapons. There's a number of big play threats in this game. So I do have it under the key number, the 47, getting under the 47, which is now 46.5 minus 110, pretty much everywhere in the market. Very similar to that Bengals game. Once it dropped below 44, I like the over here at 46.5. So that is my official play on the game.
I got to be honest with you, Mikey. all I heard after showdown was wah, 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 wah. So, Sia, the big question is, are you taking the bet, and what's the official number we're going with? If it's a yes.
So it's a yes, but here's the thing. So I got it at 47.5 earlier today.
Okay.
And he got it at 46.5. So I think the reasonable compromise is that 47 number.
What do you think, Mike? You good with that?
Yeah, I'll push with you. That's fine. It'll be fun.
All right. Jeweler, let's make this official, please. It's gonna be a showdown. Oh, yeah. Keep your finger on that button there real quick, Jeweler, because as much as I respect Mikey, and there may be nobody I respect more, but tonight is not Seattle's night. Tonight, they're not going cross-country and taking down the Washington football team with my man Taylor Heineke, who's going to spoil all of our props with an 11-minute drive in the fourth quarter to end the game like he did 2 weeks ago. And we're all going to be screaming at the TV for our props. But I'll be happy because my showdown will win. So, AB, would you like to make this official? And let's go with 2 as the number, if you don't mind. Oh, Alex wants a part of this. Alex, you want a part of this?
I want some smoke, Coach.
Oh, he wants some smoke. He said he wants some smoke. So, AB, we can either do one of two things. You can take 2 bets, or I guess
I want some smoke with you, Coach.
Oh, you want smoke with me?
I do.
Damn.
I want Seattle.
All right,
-2.
this is taking a turn. All right, so AB, are we good at 2?
Oh, we're good.
We're good. Alex, are me and you good at 2? I got Washington. Am I getting points or am I giving points?
You're getting points.
How
you have Washington +2. Yeah.
I didn't even know if I was +2 or -2. That's how much I like Washington tonight. I don't care. So, damn, Alex.
I've got one thing to say. Jacob, hit my music.
Oh, he said hit my music. He says hit my music. I love it. Oh, damn it. Oh, golly.
One more nugget for you, Coach. The Washington football team, on third down is a pretty big deal in the National Football League.
Uh-huh.
They are allowing opponents to convert third downs 53% of the time, which is over 4% more often than any other team in the National Football League.
It's gonna be a showdown.
I don't even know how to react to that because it sucks. Because I'm an idiot,
Coach. Let me make you feel just a little bit better.
Please,
on the season,
I need something.
Washington's allowing about 370 yards per game. However, over the last 3 games, they're only allowing about 280 total yards. So that is a gigantic difference. Now, it's kind of weird how that's even the case because Montez Sweat and Chase Young are not playing. They're not creating pressure, but the numbers are what they are. So the defense, for whatever reason, is playing better over the last few games. There's something to be said for that, I hope.
That makes me feel better. See ya. Not a lot, but it does make me feel better. Alex, you, sir.
Washington does have a lot of talent on paper. I was actually very high on them. I mean, I like Seattle tonight, but I was very high on the Washington football team coming into the season. They have a lot of depth on the D-line with Iodinas, Jared Allen, Deron Payne. There's a very talented group that has severely underperformed this season. So there is quite a bit of talent on Washington. And Seattle's defense is terrible as well. So it's not like we're dealing with like a drastic or a stark contrast between a good team and a bad team. Seattle's defense has been miserable this season.
The chat is so far behind all you guys, it's not even funny. They all have AB's back, and they all have Prop Stars back, and then they all want to be on Kelsey's tree, but nobody's got my back. Thomas says showdown with Mrs. Coach when he pawns those shoes to pay for these showdown bets. Those damn shoes are still in the other room. I swear to God.
Coach,
I swear to God.
I will say one thing. It looks like our man EK in the chat has your back here. Just gonna put that out there.
One of the bosses is in the chat. Oh, yeah, he's the real boss, not like your boy Noah. This is a real boss. This is a real boss. You like that one, Mikey? You know, I know you like that one. All right, Alex, you're the only one I've not come to yet. And then for all of you watching right now, if you have a prop that you would like us to talk about or hit on, or you want to play it and you want my guys' advice, please put it into the prop and also put the number next to it for the juice. Alex, do you have anything for us tonight officially?
Nothing officially yet. I will talk about some leans that I like quite a bit when we get into the props. I may turn one of those leans into an official play, but at the moment, nothing official.
Okay, very good. Jacob in the chat. He's got my back. Thank you very much, Jacob. By the way, nobody's figured out yet for a year-long membership where this hat came from and where I bought it. Come on now. I'll give you a little hint. There's going to be a new game show on TV. Just a little hit right there. All right, let's get into some props tonight, guys, because we're going to start where we always start, and that's with the quarterbacks. AB, last night we cashed that Lamar Jackson 4 different times in Sunday Night Football. Are there any quarterback props that you like tonight, sir?
Well, so like I said, I'm on Russell Wilson in terms of his longest completion, in terms of his rushing yards. You know, I always go to interceptions first. The problem is this. You look at Taylor Heinicke, he's juiced at about minus 130 for over half an interception. The problem is that the Seahawks defense only has 4 interceptions this year. You just can't count on it. It's difficult. Like, they might get it tonight, but you just can't count on it whatsoever. So, honestly, not really. There's just not a lot of quarterback props that I like other than the 2 tonight.
It's really hard in a game like this. By the way, we've got a lot of people watching live right now. I need each and every one, if you could please, hit that like button so we can give away some merchandise to the very lucky people who take their time every single night. Now, you mentioned there's nothing there because a lot of times, Mikey, let me come to you. When you talk about passing props or yardage props or whatever the case might be, it's because of game script. And Washington has had really long drives the last couple of games. But you like Terry McLaurin. I already played his over. I think I got it at 66. Do you still like it in that 64 to 68 number? Because a lot of people are asking about Washington's best receiver.
Yeah, I tend to lean over on it. Again, I think Seattle's going to put up points, which is going to force them to score. I really like J.D. McKissick the most for Washington, but I do like McLaurin. This number is very friendly. I have it up to 71 in my simulation, so definitely lean towards the over. Pretty much any number up to 68, I would lean towards the over on. But yeah, I think he should have a ton of opportunity in this one, and I'm on the over in the game. So.
Okay, so he's on the over in the game, over with McLaurin. Alex, let me come to you because DK Metcalf, he's a star on the other side of the fence. His catch prop is 5.5, but it's juiced to plus 124. Tyler Lockett is 4.5, but he's minus 176. Educate me on these 2 stars for Seattle.
Yeah, I prefer I prefer DK Metcalf tonight. There's been a lot of back and forth regarding, we've seen Lockett's number open lower than DK's, and then currently Lockett's yardage number is higher than DK's. The conventional thinking is that DK will primarily be matched up with Kendall Fuller, leaving William Jackson to defend Tyler Lockett, which I think some people think is an advantageous matchup for Lockett. I personally don't feel that way. I do like both receivers. It's over or no play with them. But yeah, I think at 64.5, DK does present the higher upside, more value. He's able to get off on anybody. Fuller is a good corner, but I'm not afraid to play him. I also think, I do like the connection with Russ. He's targeting him down the field a lot. So yeah, I'm more inclined to play DK tonight compared to Lockett.
Okay, and the Lockett's reception yardage is over 70. Don't have a number on that.
To me, that's too high. I think DK is at 64.5 the last I checked.
63.5, 136.
63.5, yeah. My model has him projected at 78, which is a pretty significant edge. So yeah, I personally like DK tonight. He's coming off of a couple duds as well. So I personally, DK would be the play for me.
Okay, cool. Lockett is actually, I made a mistake. I was reading the chat, but it's actually at 61.5. But it's juice really high. Everything for Lockett tonight is high juice. Like everything's over minus 160. Almost you can't even touch it. Let me come to you, Sia, because when we look at some of the rushing totals, Mike already gave you out Russell Wilson. But the rushing total, I believe, for Heinicke is 18.5. And the Meister already gave out J.D. McKissick's receiving line, which is over 29.5 receiving yards. McKissick's rushing line is 19.5, minus 103. Do you like it? Oh, Antonio Gibson's over 67.5. You like any of those rushing numbers tonight?
Of the three, I think it's Antonio Gibson I like the most. I will say this, J.D. McKissic is starting to get a little bit more involved from a rush attempt standpoint. So he's not like strictly game script dependent, but I think they really are going to. Now, listen, Seattle is actually pretty good against the run relative to the pass, but I think they're going to force feed Antonio Gibson this game. McKissic will get into the mix a little bit, but I like the over on Gibson's rushing yards.
Okay, you like the over. What about you, AB? You want to back that up?
Nothing big for me, honestly. No, yeah, man. Like I don't feel strong one way or the other. Like I wouldn't point anybody in either direction.
Yeah. All right, Alex, what do you got?
So McKissic is a really interesting prop for me. I've kind of seesaw back and forth on him all day. So on paper, this is a fantastic matchup. Seattle gives up more receiving yards to the running back position than any other defense in the NFL. So you would naturally think, well, that makes McKissic a slam dunk as he's one of the best receiving running backs in football. However, with McKissic, he is very, very game flow dependent. In a game that's competitive, or if Washington happens to be trailing, he does not get work as a pass catching back. So yeah, to me, this game has so many different range of outcomes. Well, obviously, I'm in the showdown. I do lean with Seattle. I could see a scenario very easily where Washington is winning this game wire to wire. Seattle has looked that bad to me recently. So, yeah, I like McKissic. This is a great spot for him. But just if you look at the games that Washington has controlled, he gets a lot more work. Sia mentioned this, as a rusher than he does as a receiver. So if he got the work, or we were guaranteed to know that he was going to get X amount of targets, I'd love this prop. It's a great matchup, but just to me, there's so many various range of outcomes. It's hard to back McKissic, just not knowing what this game will look like, which is why I personally stayed away from it.
I'm trying to remember the game, but this game tonight feels a lot like a game we had recently where we played hardly any props. So it was like maybe 2 or 3 because we had literally no idea what was going to happen. Tonight feels kind of the same way. So, Mikey, let me come to you because kind of a cool bet from somebody in the chat that they have at their book. Since we don't like a lot of names tonight, one name we do like is Terry McLaurin. He has a bet over 6.5 catches and over 76.5 receiving yards, plus 350.
I like that. At plus 350, I think it's decent value, actually. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. I like him a lot tonight. He, to be honest, Terry is the only guy that I'm playing on anything tonight. And I'm playing Taylor Heineke and his attempts, which is where I want to come back to you, AB. I saw somebody on social media today. I don't know who it was, but they think because Washington could be trailing, and I hope that's not the case, his attempts is at 32.5, as is Russell Wilson's. Do we like the unders there based off of what we've been discussing for the last 15 minutes?
Yeah, I think 30 is probably your ceiling here, right? Because you're going to see Seattle try to run the football. They're absolutely going to try to do that. And like you said earlier in the show, in regards to Washington's offense, they like to run the football in terms of controlling the clock, right? Like you're going to see two very conservative coaches with Ron Rivera and Pete Carroll tonight. So it's really difficult to look at overs in terms of attempts. I will say, though, that if you're looking for anything in terms of quarterback, prop bets, the attempts aren't your play. Completions tonight might be your play because both of these secondaries are going to give up completions, especially if, like PropStars talked about, if Washington can get it in a game script where they're throwing the short passes, but you are going to clean up early and often with those.
Alex.
That's a fantastic point that AB brought up. The biggest edge I had on my model was Russell Wilson's completions, interestingly enough. I believe the number is either set at 18.5 or 19.5. The model had him in the low 20s, which is a pretty substantial edge. So I do like Russell Wilson because of some of the things we said. Washington does rank 30th in passing DVOA. He should be able to complete a lot of passes to sustain drives, which he has been unable to do recently. Should have that opportunity versus this Washington defense. So I do actually really like Russell Wilson's completions over 18.5 or 19.5. I'm not sure what the exact number is.
Okay. I believe it is. Well, right now it's at 21.5. It went all the way up to 21.5. Yeah.
I'd lay off it there. I'd lay off it at 21.5.
Okay, let's stay away. It's pretty obvious in the chat tonight. We have a really, really big audience watching, so thank you all very much. But none of you have any props that you're interested in because we don't have any props that we're interested in. It's just one of those nights. So we're not going to force it. Yeah, AB?
So I did want to say I saw a couple of people asking about kickers, and I do want to acknowledge and bring this up really quickly. Okay. First off, you look at Seattle. They've only kicked 9 field goals this year. Like they just do not do it. Like they are a team that goes for fourth downs. They're a team that gets in really weird game scripts in terms of that. So you can't really trust Myers. He's a fine kicker, and they might get it, but it's just really difficult to bet on them. And then you look at Washington with Joey Sly. I know that we made a promise on this show to never bet him again, but if you're going to bet one of them, it's usually him because Ron Rivera will go to that. But I'm just putting it out there that this isn't a kicker matchup. It could happen tonight, but on average with these two teams, it is gross in terms of trying to get field goals out of them. So that's why I haven't even brought it up or taken a look much deeper than that.
What are you doing? You already got him fired once this year from a team, and now you want to get him fired again? What the hell's wrong with you?
Well, he almost got me fired that first time, so you know what? I'm going to fire him for that.
Oh, that's very true. Alex, I'm going to come to you. Mikey, get that donkey ready. Alex, what do you got?
Yeah, I just also wanted to mention, too, on Washington's side of thing, Logan Thomas and Curtis Samuel are both returning to Washington's lineup tonight, making things a little bit murkier. I do like Terry McLaurin a lot, but yeah, Curtis Samuel is expected to be the number 2 wide receiver on this team coming into the year. He's obviously dealt with a variety of injuries, but they paid him a lot of money, so he should receive a decent amount of targets. Also, Logan Thomas, as we know, was a very good tight end last season, only played 4 games this season. But yeah, his return as well is kind of murking things up a little bit, just kind of adding to the uncertainty that this game has, or at least being able to project sort of where those targets will be allocated towards, which is why I don't have any official plays in the game.
Or as you like to say, it adds to the mouths that need to be fed.
Correct.
I've learned that from Prop Stars. I've learned that. All right. We don't force anything here on the show, ever. We don't make anybody make a pick. Sometimes, as Noah said in the chat, the best thing to do is just stay away. Just stay away. Now, we're not going to stay away from our Donkey Parlay because we have 3 things left to do. Donkey Parlay, Van Jefferson, and also we will recap our official plays from the game tonight. Then let everybody enjoy it. And I saw somebody in the chat say that Cornell is just kicking ass in the first half. So I guarantee you, Jay Smooth somewhere is yep, there it is. I just got a text from Jay Smooth. How about Cornell at the half? Thank you, Jay Smooth. We appreciate that. All right, Mikey, you got that look on your face like you are prepared. For those of you who are brand new to the show, first of all, welcome. Second of all, this is one of the fun bets we do every single primetime game. We put a bunch of things. Well, Mikey puts a bunch of things together, and when you look at it, you go, that can't hit. Well, we just hit it 4 times in the last week and a half. So this is fun. Grab your paper, grab your pencil. Mikey, the floor is yours.
All right. This one might take a little longer because we're at 460 likes, and I'm going to sit here and drink my glass of water until we get to 500, and then I will read the donkey. So drop it down, go hit the like button, and then I will give you the donkey. If not, it's not going to happen.
Need 40? So we need 40.
Yeah.
Okay. So while we wait for the donkey, let me tell you a little story. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. My 5-star play of the...
We're there. We hit 500. They act quickly.
Thank you. All right. Now, by the way, what are you drinking tonight?
Just water. Always water. I ran out of the Liquid Death cans. They look like Modelo's, but they're just water.
Okay.
So we're drinking water. That's it.
Okay. Damn it. All right. Mikey, what do you got?
All right. Let's go. 7 legs on tonight's donkey. Washington football team plus 10.5. Seattle Seahawks plus 7.5. The over 36.5 alternate line. DK Metcalf at least 50 receiving yards. Terry McLaurin bring that number down to 55. Russell Wilson over 199.5 passing yards. And then Tyler Lockett over 54.5 passing yards. Put them together plus 475.
Oh, that looks really, really tasty tonight, and I like it a lot. All right, there is your donkey parlay for the game. As we approach the top of the hour, we've got a big new set of people coming into the show right now. Welcome into Early Edge Live. Me and the boys are here every single primetime game during the NFL season, breakdown sides, totals, and props. All right, we will recap our best bets in about 6 or 7 minutes, but it is that time of the show. Maybe we take this a little bit too seriously. I do not think that we do. It's become a labor of love for those of us not in the club, and for Sia and Mikey. They get these stupid looks on their faces every time we do this, and it only says one thing: I am better than you. But tonight, one of us, it could be our night. AB, Alex, are you with me?
Barely.
Oh my God, I was
I'm disheartened after last night, Coach. Seeing Latavius Murray get stood up at the 1 yard line with you gloating on top of that, calling the shot, literally prognosticating exactly how it would happen. I was so elated seeing Devontae Freeman go off the field. They bring Latavius Murray in at the 1 yard line. He gets the carry and literally just gets stood up.
I wish that we could tweet out our thread, our chat thread, so everybody could read it, because everybody would just go bananas half the time. It's so great. Manny says heartbreaking in the chat. Yes, Manny, for Alex, but not for the rest of us. I loved it. Are you kidding me? Heartbreaking.
Thank you, Manny. You have my back.
All right. So we have a little rule here. If you've earned your spot in the club, you get to go first. So, Mikey, you were the first one. You were dancing for about 24 hours in the VIP section by yourself until Sia came in and said, hey, gave you a big old fist pump. I'm here too. So, Mikey, you can go first. What do you got?
All right, we're going with Freddie Swain of the Seattle Seahawks here. He is the very clear number 3 receiver in terms of routes, targets, everything behind DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. I'm expecting Russell Wilson to have some success throwing. They're pretty banged up in the backfield. They like to use him in creative ways. He's been on the field, typically on the field in the red zone here. So I like him 40-1 plus 4,000. You can get that number here. I think it should be all the way down to 20-1 myself. So pretty good value here on Swain for the very clear number 3 wide receiver on the team that I think is the better team in the game.
All right. Very good. Very good. Chad says, I can't even read what he wrote that time. All right. See ya. Now, you have this low-key, kind of an RJ White style of rubbing stuff into the rest of us. And sometimes we don't even know you're doing it till after you've done it. So if you could speak slowly and use small words for AB and Alex, I would appreciate it. But you're up next.
Oh, that's no problem, Coach. Okay, so here's the thing. I had a very strong lean towards DJ Dallas at plus 1,600 because I do think he's going to be in this game a lot more than people think. So for you DFSers out there, DraftKings, FanDuel, keep him in mind. But my actual play at 20-1 is a quarterback who likes to scramble and who likes to scramble near the goal line. And he does have a nose for the pylon specifically. It's Taylor Heineke at plus 2,000.
Okay. Oh no, I didn't. You can continue. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Over you.
That's legitimately it. Taylor Heineke at plus 2,000. I think there's some value there. I think obviously he's going to be looking to McLaurin first, maybe Logan Thomas. We'll see how much run he gets, but I think when push comes to shove, Taylor Heineke is no stranger to running it in himself.
Okay, very good. Sorry, that was just a very AB style take. That was just very short and nothing much to it. All right, so up next. I think I'm going to go up next. I'm going to go with DeAndre Carter, plus 1,800. I'm at the point now that I'm like Sia. I don't have a lot of information. I just know that if I don't make it in 2021, it's going to be the longest 8 months of my life. So DeAndre Carter, I know nothing about you. I know you scored in the last game for Washington, so let's do it 2 games in a row, and let's do it tonight. DeAndre Carter, lock it in, plus 1,800. All right, AB, I have a feeling that you have another quarterback in your crosshairs. Who do you have?
I do, and let me tell you this. Sources have been telling me today that it is a certain person's birthday, and that is Russell Wilson. And Ciara told him, take care of business, baby. Take care of business tonight. So Russell Wilson is going to go big in the air. He is also going to run in the first touchdown tonight because he's going to get camera time and pay it back because that is the kind of guy that he is. He would want to do that for sure. It's going to be Russell Wilson who runs it in tonight.
Take it from the only other guy on this team that has an extremely attractive boss, black woman as a partner. You listen. or you don't come home. So I hate the fact that you brought that up tonight because I would do the same damn thing. I would just audible to myself. All right, I have purposely left this man. No. We got one more person to go. Two more people to go before I bring up my last man. So the maestro called in. He said, I want a piece of the pie. He's in the club. J.D. McKissick is the maestro's pick at plus 1,800. Jeweler, show your face. Who are you going with tonight, pal?
Have you ever seen the movie No Country for Old Men?
Yes.
I'm asking you, what's the most you've ever lost on a coin toss? Because I'm between two guys right now, and I'm just going to flip this coin. And
okay.
Jacob,
but you got to tell us
who
who are the two names first. You
can't know. That's in the movie. You can't know.
Oh, okay.
It's heads. This is a pick in honor of my good friend Chris Hassel. Old Willie Disley, the Seattle Seahawks tight end. I just like his number here. You can find it ranging from 2,300 to 3,000 across the market. He's gotten not a lot of volume, only one touchdown this year, 3 catches over the last 2 weeks, but they're looking at him on 3rd and long. So I think he's going to get something maybe around 15 yards. Let's get a stiff-armed Willie Disley in the end zone touchdown.
I can't even hold it in anymore. I got some bad news for all you guys right now. Scott in the chat says, it's your night, coach. Let's go, Washington. It's my night. It's my night. Now, as I was about to say, I have purposely left this man to go last so I could get every last second out of what happened last night to him as he came 6 inches away from walking into the club, taking the jacket off, putting the glasses on, and kicking it. But alas, they tapped him on the shoulder and said, son, get out of my club. And they pushed him back. So, Alex, it breaks my heart to say that you are no longer allowed in the club and you've got to earn your spot one more time. What do you got, big boy? What do you got?
Yeah, it was glorious in that club, too. Let me tell you, an unbelievable experience from the few seconds I was inside, seeing Sia and Mike just being showered with champagne. It was just an incredible sight. I'm doing everything I possibly can to get back in this club. I've tried everything. We're going Logan Thomas plus 1,400. He has 2 touchdowns and 12 catches this season. He is making his return. He's going to be on a pitch count, but if you're going to have this guy play snaps, it's going to be in the red zone. He is a good red zone weapon. Had 6 touchdowns last year for the Washington football team. I'm going Logan Thomas.
All right. Well, we've got officially 7 picks, and I put my foot down at 7. Jay Smooth called and said, hey, can I throw a pick in? There is no way in hell I'm letting Jay Smooth even have a chance at the club before my ass gets in. There's no way. There's no way. No chance. All right. Now, we've got a couple things left to do. There are a lot of people came in at 8 o'clock and missed our best bets tonight. So, Jeweler, if you could throw up the full screen, please. We will quickly go around the horn and then throw out the donkey one more time, and then we will say goodbye because the game starts in 7 minutes. Here is our official plays of the show. AB, quickly, start us off.
Yep, it's got the Seahawks pick, basically money line, obviously. Russell Wilson, longest completion, over 35.5 yards. Russell Wilson, over 15.5 rush yards.
Mikey.
I'm on the over 46.5 here. This number's come down a little bit, got me through a key number of 47. Really like it here. Washington, worst defense in the NFL in terms of third down efficiency, and I think there's a number of players that can get loose in this game. I think it's a big bounce back spot for the Seahawks. So give me the over here in this one.
Oh, and then we come to Sia. Talk to me, Sia.
Speaking of players that can get loose, I do want to mention I really do like Lockett as a very strong lean over 23.5 as a longest reception. So keep that in mind. But my official play here is the under of 47.
Okay, very good. And to be fair, we have a showdown between Mikey and Sia. The number we're playing tonight is 47 for that showdown bet. Now, the Maestro has 2 plays tonight. He's, of course, on Washington showdown bet with AB. I've got a showdown bet with AB and Alex. The number is 2 that we're going with. And then J.D. McKissick over 20.5 receiving yards for the Maestro. Then the teaser today from the Jeweler, we're going to Washington, and then teasing the under up to 53 and playing it down. A little 2-team, same game parlay. Mikey, if you can rip through the donkey one more time, please, I would appreciate it.
Yes, we can go through the donkey one more time. And I actually made an error on the one that I uploaded here for you guys. So you can remove one of these legs because it doesn't change the odds at all. Washington football team plus 10.5, Seattle Seahawks plus 7.5, the over 36.5, DK Metcalf plus or 50 plus receiving yards, Terry McLaurin 55 plus receiving yards, Tyler Lockett over 54.5 receiving yards, and then I have the over 199.5 for Russell Wilson, but that does not change the odds of this now with the new odds that are up there, so you don't need that leg in there to get the plus 475.
All right, so let's just take Russell Wilson out, and we'll make it a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 leg parlay for plus 475. Thank you, Mikey, very much. We have 2 winners. Our glass tonight at Lex Bear Spitz, and the elusive Early Edge hoodie goes to at Vince Santinello. All we ask when you send you something, take a picture with it, put it up on Twitter so we can pull that down and add it to our collection. We'd certainly appreciate it as we continue to grow this community. All right, we close out every Early Edge live show. Give them my chance, guys, 15 or 20 seconds just to tell us what they're most looking forward to. Jeweler, if you could throw up the recap while we're doing that so people can have the last 4 minutes to get any bets in they haven't given. AB, start us off.
I am most looking forward to whoever wins this game because teams that win on Monday in the NFL this season are 10-0-1 in their following game.
George said, AB Flexen getting ready for his spot in the club. Not tonight. Mikey, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to points. Precisely 47, maybe 50 of them would be ideal. But I'm looking forward to some points, starting with Freddie Swain catching or running in that first touchdown. Points on the board early with the Seahawks.
Hey, I would love 50 points if 30 of them are by Washington. See ya. Talk to me.
Coach, I would like that too. Listen, the Washington football team, they haven't had much to celebrate in a couple decades, if we're being honest. This is actually a big game for us fans of that team. And we're also wondering if Taylor Heineke is the future. He very well could be. And this game or a good game would go a long way to proving that.
All right, very good. And this man, he has it all bottled up inside, and we're just happy he's on our team. Alex, bring us home.
Yeah, I have no official plays in this game, so I am just going to sit back, relax, have some cranberry juice, and hope for a very competitive ball game between 2 mediocre football teams.
and please tell the missus that we said hello. All right?
Yes.
We appreciate her letting you work so much in the lab. All right. Grab your paper, grab your pencils. You have the recap. There's only one thing left to do, and you all know what that is. Hopefully you had a good time because, damn it, we love doing this so freaking – you've got your marching orders. See? And by the way, nobody got this hat right. Let's take all these tickets straight to the pay window. This is – what is this, Jeweler? This is – Harry Potter. Harry
10
Potter.
points for Gryffindor.
There you go. And I bought it at Universal Studios when I took my kids. No winners tonight for that, but you're all winners in our book. Tell all your friends and join us tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern live every single day right here on the Early Edge. Good luck.